A student's overview of the ageless wisdom was carefully compiled from the following books by Alice A. Bailey. A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. Esoteric Psychology, Volumes 1 and 2. Esoteric Healing. Esoteric Astrology. The Rays and the Initiations. Students are encouraged to download the free PDF version of this overview by following the link in the video's description, or to order a printed copy at cost from thebookpatch.com, but are advised to read the original, unabridged books in order to gain deeper insight into the ageless wisdom. Students are also invited to join our online study group at facebook.com/groups/students of the ageless wisdom. Chapter 14, A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. 2. The Fire Devas, the Greater Builders. A. Introductory Statements. The Devas and Elementals are divided into two groups, evolutionary and involutionary builders. The greater builders are the positive aspect of substance, whilst the lesser builders are the negative aspect. Two types of force are represented in the activities of these two groups, and it is their interaction which produces light, or a manifested solar system. They are also the sum total of the Pitris, or fathers of mankind. These Deva activities in relation to self-consciousness can best be studied through the consideration of groups, of races, and of the life of the scheme, the manifestation of one of the heavenly men. The greater builders are the solar Pitris, whilst the lesser builders are the lunar ancestors, meaning initiatory life impulse. It is that subjective activity which produces objectivity, and concerns those emanatory impulses which come from any positive center of force, and which sweep the negative aspect into the line of that force, thus producing a form of some kind. Man, a fire. Monadic fire. Electric fire. Spirit will. The central spiritual sun. Egoic fire. Solar fire. Consciousness love wisdom. The heart of the sun. Personality fire. Fire by friction. Physical man. Physical sun. Each of these fires can also be studied in a threefold manner and under three aspects. The monad. Will aspect. Electric fire. Flame. Spiritual will. Love wisdom. Solar fire. Light. Spiritual love. Active intelligence. Fire by friction. Heat. Spiritual intelligence. The ego. Will. Atma. Electric fire. The spark. The jewel in the lotus. Conscious will. Love wisdom. Buddhi. Solar fire. The rays. The 12-petaled lotus. Conscious love. Active intelligence. Manas. Fire by friction. Substance. The permanent atoms. Conscious activity. The personality. Will. Mental body. Electric fire. Lower mind. Thought. Love. Astral body. Solar fire. Karma. Desire. Activity. Physical body. Fire by friction. Prana. Activity. I seek to emphasize here the fact that in this threefold manifestation there is a ninefold unfoldment. It should ever be borne in mind that 7 is the number which governs the evolution of substance and of form building in the solar system, but that 9 is the number governing the development of the consciousness within that form of the psyche. This is seen in the sevenfold display of logoic life through the planetary scheme, and the ninefold nature of egoic unfoldment. End of page 66. The solar logos is the initiatory impulse, the father of the sun, and is the sum total of the Treatise. The union of father, positive force, and mother, negative force, produces that central blaze which we call the form, the body of manifestation of the sun. A planetary man holds an analogous position in relation to a scheme, and a man in relation to his lesser sphere. The lesser builders are the negative aspect and are swept into action in group formation through the action of positive force upon them. The adept of the light, working with the greater builders on the side of evolution, works consciously with the dual aspects of polarity and views substance as that which is negative, and can therefore balance forces in the best interests of the plan of evolution. The brother of darkness works with negative substance, or with the lesser builders to bring about his own selfish ends. The building devas are the universal mind, containing the logoic plan within their consciousness and inherently possess the power to work it out in time and space, being the conscious forces of evolution. They not only embody the divine thought but are that through which it manifests. They are that which produces concretion and which gives form to the abstract. The solar Treatise and devas, the greater builders, are the source of man's self-consciousness, and it is their action upon the negative aspect which produces the human ego. From the Christian point of view, the greater builders are the Holy Spirit and the lesser builders correspond to the Virgin Mary. The lunar Treatise and the lesser builders find their fullest expression in the animal kingdom. When they had produced animal man, they had performed their prime function and are now slowly coming to a conclusion as their power is being superseded by spiritual power. The lunar Treatise are the builders of man's lunar body, and are the sum total of the dense physical body of the logos, or the substance of the mental, astral and physical planes but not including the etheric. They are the product of an earlier solar system, that is why the physical body is not considered a principle and why the lower nature is considered evil. Evil is that which can be controlled and subdued, but which is permitted to govern. The positive can always manipulate the negative, but when the negative line is followed and the line of least resistance is not a principle, evil results. In the first solar system, the lunar Treatise dominated, but this present system is in the hands of the solar Treatise, and this idea runs through all manifestation and the kingdoms of nature. For the form nourishes the germ of that which is the next step on in the evolutionary process and are considered the mother aspect. For example, the third kingdom nourishes and preserves the germ of that which will someday be a man. The personality is the preserver of that which will someday unfold into spiritual man. It will become apparent how the heavenly man, viewing him as a solar deity, a self-conscious entity, works with his negative aspect through positive force, from logoic etheric levels to the dense physical, thus bringing to maturity the atoms and cells of his body, fostering the germ of self-consciousness and fanning the flame until each unit becomes fully group conscious. Each human being works likewise, functioning in the three worlds while developing the conscious cells in his bodies until each atom eventually reaches the goal. The heavenly man works with egoic groups, pouring positive force upon them, while man works correspondingly through his centers upon his sheaths, and has a responsibility to the lesser lives which must be managed according to the law of karma. b. The functions of devas. From a consideration of the devas, certain practical knowledge will eventuate. 1. Knowledge of how to build in mental matter in the three worlds, and how to employ the devas of the gaseous plane of the cosmic physical. 2. Realization of how to combine the pairs of opposites and thus give body and form to concept. 3. Materialization upon the physical plane of the embodied idea. Manifestation of the logoic aspects. This is achieved through the close consideration of the method pursued by the Logos in giving his conception form and thus working out his purpose, or will, through that form. In the three planes of man's endeavor, we have reflected the three aspects of the Logos as they produce manifestation. End of page 67. A. Mental plane, reflection of the first aspect, the plane of concept, of the union of Father Spirit Will and Mother Matter Energy, and this union produces the Son, divine thought taking form. B. Astral plane, reflection of the second aspect, the Son. Materialization proceeds through desire and the form grows and evolves, becoming more adequate. C. Physical plane, reflection of the third aspect, manifestation, the thought form, of a man or the Logos, appears in activity. The Son is born on the physical plane, the thought of the thinker becomes an entity separated from its originating source yet energized by the vitality emanating from him. All this is possible through the action of the devas who are that which embodies thought, gives it its separated energy as distinct from the purpose which will work out as the form becomes adequate as a medium of expression. Deva force substance. As the devas of the 7 planes of the solar system are considered, especially those who work in the 3 worlds, we must bear in mind the following statements. A. They are the devas who are the dual force substance of the lowest cosmic plane, hence man is limited to working with those devas who are not regarded as having part in the 7 principles of the Logos. They are those devas who are as yet animated by the life and purpose of the first solar system, which is considered evil from our present standpoint, for it is superseded as far as man is concerned by a different and higher purpose now. Therefore, identification with that which is past are for a man a return along the path of self-conscious evolution and lead to a loss of the egoic principle. They are those devas who are the automatic, subconscious builders, carrying on the work of the dense physical vehicle of the Logos in the same sense as the builders in man's body work automatically and unconsciously to produce his cells. This is the basis of the danger to man in tampering with these forces, for he is too close to them and still identifies himself with them and, until he has attained the consciousness of the ego and established his identity with the spirit aspect and not with substance, he is liable to be swept into the line of blind force and become a lost soul should he trespass ignorantly and curiously into their domain. B. The hope for the devas and for the form aspect lies in the fact that each of the subplanes of the cosmic physical plane comes under the influence of cosmic forces originating on the 6 other cosmic planes. Cosmic mental plane. A. Manifests as the force which plays through all the manasic permanent atoms, and which produces the 3 worlds. B. The force which animates those groups of lotuses which we can egoic groups or centers, aggregates of causal bodies. C. the force which vitalizes all the mental units and which is distributed to all the other permanent atoms. These three types of force deal with the substance aspect, permanent atoms, causal vehicle and mental units, and are therefore directly impressing themselves upon the devas who build these forms out of their own substance, thus developing the divine plan. These three types of force affect substance, but with a psychic intent, being themselves swayed and actuated according to divine purpose from high levels. Cosmic astral plane. A. The devas who are the substance of the force of the astral plane, viewing it as the sum total of desire, feeling and sensation. They are, therefore, the nerve centers of the logoic physical body, for the systemic astral plane provides the nervous system of the logoic physical body and are the body of most intense vibration from the physical standpoint. B. Those devas who are the sum total of the astral light, the agents of the karmic lords who are, in themselves, deva entities of an inconceivably advanced evolution, and who produce effects from causes and direct force in their own substance. This group emanates from a great force center which we call the Sun, Sirius. End of page 68. The cosmic physical plane. This is the force of the solar system itself, and of its environing space, and might be regarded as the pranic forces pouring through the logoic etheric body which form our higher four subplanes, which are positive to the lower three, impregnating them through the union of the Father-Mother, and producing the concrete manifestation. This is why the physical vehicle has such a strong control over man during evolution, for this force is necessarily felt more strongly than any other. It is deva force and substance, which is so close to us as to powerfully delude us. Here lies the mystery of Maya, the secret of illusion. Here exists for man the first great stage of the battle for full self-consciousness, and for identification with the God aspect and not with the matter aspect. Here lies the occult reason why man is called by his father's name and not his mother's. When man has dominated the deva essences of the physical plane, he controls next those of the astral and dominates the mental. The devas and their polar opposites, in connection with the lower three planes and their many groups of devas, it must be remembered that their polar opposites are to be found in the great devas of the highest three planes. The particular type of differentiated force which they embody, when brought into union with each other, is that which causes concretion, in space and time, of the dense physical body. The Buddhic plane, the fourth cosmic ether, is the plane whereon 1. The sacred planets function. 2. Man will eventually function, freed from the triple lower man. 3. The words divine hermaphrodite will be comprehended. 4. The life force emanates, and is one of the planes of generation. 5. Man will understand and utilize his relationship to the devas. 6. Will be seen the fruition of the combined evolutionary process of the two solar system. 7. All planetary avatars emanate. 8. The heavenly men take the first initiation on this plane. 9. The true significance of the sun is apprehended. The devas and the planes. In this particular section, students must remember that we are not considering those builders of involutionary development which are spoken of in theosophical and occult literature as the elemental essences. We are discussing those who are on the evolutionary arc, and who are the agents of cosmic force, whilst the lesser builders are the agents of solar and lunar force. As electric fire, the Logos manifests as 7 aspects of will, spiritual impulse or purpose. As solar fire, he manifests as the 7 rays, the consciousness, radiating through form. As fire by friction, he manifests as the 7 sons of Fohat constituting Brahma, the 7 great fires, or the active heat of intelligent substance. A sevenfold electric fire, the 7 types of spiritual existences, or the 7 spirits before the throne in their essential essence, the dynamic force or will lying behind of all manifestation. B sevenfold solar fire, the 7 heavenly men, the 7 rays of manifestation of the spiritual sun. In time and space, these rays become the 9, the major 3 with the third demonstrating as 7, and are thus the 9 petals of the Logoic ego. C sevenfold fire by friction, the 7 brothers of Fohat, the 7 manifestations of electricity. These are the 7 Raja Lords or Devas of the 7 planes. They are the 7 fires, or those states of activity through which consciousness is expressing itself. Therefore, the sum total of Logoic manifestation, as can be seen in existence in time and space, is composed of the 7 spirits, the 7 rays and the 7 Deva Lords. The latter are literally the 7 spiralae, or force vibrations within the Logoic physical permanent atom. End of page 69. The 7 spirits before the throne find their originating incentive on the cosmic lower mental levels, the Logoic jewel in the lotus and the cosmic atmic plane. The 7 heavenly men are in the line of force from the cosmic astral plane, the Logoic 9-petaled lotus and the cosmic Buddhic plane, the 7 rishis of the Great Bear. The 7 sons of Fohat find their vital force emanating from the cosmic physical plane, the Logoic permanent atom and the higher cosmic mental levels. Yet these 3 are but the expressions of the one existence, for behind the Logos in physical incarnation is to be found the Logoic monad, expressing itself through the Logoic ego, and its reflection, the Logoic personality. Man must learn to construct thought forms, which he builds of mental matter and vitalizes by desire, and which he holds within his aura, thus constructing a tiny system of his own. Both man and the heavenly men work in Deva substance, both cooperate with the Devas, both manifest will, psychic quality and intelligent activity as they pursue their work, but a difference lies, not only in degree but in consciousness. The subject of our consideration now is the fire Devas of the physical plane, those great building Devas who are working out the purposes of the Logos in his dense physical body. Agnishatans, ruled by the Raja Lord Kshiti, these are the Devas who build in matter of the densest kind, functioning on the 7th subplane of the cosmic physical plane. Agnisuryans, ruled by the Raja Lord Varuna, these are the builders on the 6th subplane of the cosmic physical plane, our systemic astral plane. They represent the sympathetic nervous system in the Logoic physical body, just as their brothers of the 7th vibration represent the sum total of the circulatory system. Agnishvatas, ruled by Agni, they are the builders on the 5th or gaseous subplane of the cosmic physical, our systemic mental plane. They are the builders of the body of consciousness and have a close connection with the physical brain, the seat of the thinker. End of page 70. End of chapter 14.